What is going on, everybody? My name is Banji. A lot of people, that are fans of me, they know I'm a self-improvement, gym, lifestyle YouTuber. But for those of you that don't know, not a lot of people know that are fans of my content. I'm actually a software engineer full time, but I make these YouTube videos on the side. And I just turned 24 like a month ago. So there's a lot of things that I wish I knew before turning 24. And I'm gonna share it with you guys in this video. Disclaimer, honestly, if you have a TikTok brain, just click off the video. This video really isn't for you. It's for people that want to grow. There's a bunch of value in this video, so make sure you guys take in every single brutal truth that I'm about to drop, because this is some secret sauce, like some secret sauce, man. But I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna get straight into it. I don't want to waste no time, right? So the first brutal truth that I wish I knew before I was 24 was the fact that I wish I knew that nobody would do the work for me. The first brutal truth, I have them all listed on my notes, but it's the fact that nobody's going to do the work for you. I know a lot of people see, people having things that they want, right? There's a car that you see when you're, walking outside, or when you're driving your own car. You're like, I wish I had that car. There's a neighborhood that you see, and you're like, I wish I could afford to live in that neighborhood. There's these shoes that you see that, maybe a friend has. You said, I wish I had those shoes, and the reality is that unless you do the work to get those things, unless you, sacrifice, you grind, you do the early mornings or late nights to get those things that you really want out of life, bro, nobody's going to do the work for you to get those things. Nobody's going to be like, here, buddy, here's a new car. Unless you have some rich parents, nobody's going to do that for you, right? And that's the biggest brutal truth that I've known. Not the biggest, but it's one of the brutal truths that I've learned in life, becoming 24 years old, is nobody's just going to do the work for you. Honestly, nobody is going to give you any sort of pity, recognition or achievement, or give you things out of pity. It's all on you to do the work. And the quicker that you understand that, the better your life will be, because it's all on you. It is all on you. But, I'm about to get into the second point, man. And the second point is more specific. And it's the fact that the money that you make is contingent upon the value that you provide to the world, right? So a lot of people, they say, oh, I wish I knew how to make more money. I wish I knew how to do 10K a month, 20K a month, 50K a month, 100K a month. But what they fail to understand is that it's not about getting the money. It's not about the 10K months. It's not about the 20K months. It's not about the 50. It's not about any of that. It's about the type of person that you have to become to get the money. That's what it's all about. You have to become a better public speaker. You have to become more skilled in whatever area that you're trying to pursue. You have to provide, like, whether you're working for a company or you're an entrepreneur, you have to be attractive to more clients if you're an entrepreneur, right? You have to be attractive to better companies, provide more value to whatever company that you want to, be in, right? If you want to go the corporate route, right? So it's less about, I got to get that money. What's the quickest way that I can get to this amount of money a month? And it's more about, how can I just become better? How could I become a better public speaker? How could I become just more valuable, right? And when you become more valuable, the money will come. Don't even worry about the money, bro. Don't even worry about the money. Don't worry about the subs. Don't worry about, all the external things. Don't worry about the followers. Don't worry about any of that. Just worry about being better, and everything will fall into place, right? Everything will fall into place, bro. And I hate to just go through a list right now, but the third brutal truth, bro, is the fact that they are not your friends. Right? You think they're your friends. You think that these people that you have around you when you're 15, 16, 17, 18, when you're young, let's just say when you're young, you think those people would be your friends forever. But the sad reality is, the people that you hang on a day to day, you're not going to be hanging hanging with them on a day-to-day 5 years from now. And the reason for that is because, hey, you might be start watching this kind of content. You might start watching the content that, pushes self-improvement, the kind of content that forces you to grow, right? And when you start growing and your friends are not, they might feel some type of way, and they might stop trying to be cool with you, bro. They might stop trying to be friends with you. They might stop hanging out with you because you going to the gym all the time. You making all this money. You trying to improve, and you trying to start these businesses and things like that. That might make them insecure. That might make them insecure, bro. You doing all these views on social media. You just flourishing right now. That makes certain people uncomfortable. Family too. So what you have to understand is that those people that you're putting so much stock into, those people that you're wasting so much time around, I'm not saying everybody's out to get you, but you have to understand that as you grow and become more successful, and I'm going to talk about this in my next point, the friends that you think that you have, the friends that you think are friends forever, they not really your friends, bro. And time will reveal that, bro. I hate to say it, but it's just facts, bro. It's just facts, right? And point number 4 is the fact that your daily habits, what you do on a day-to-day basis, that's what shapes your entire life. That's what tells you where you're gonna be at 5-10 years from now. If you spend all this time watching TV, watching movies, on social media, eating fast food, drinking Coke, Pepsi, soda, you just live in an unhealthy lifestyle. Staying up late, playing a game. Where do you think you're gonna be at in 5 to 10 years? These terrible habits that you have, they shape your life, bro. They definitely shape your life. Versus the guy that's going to work. After he get off work, he working on the side business. After he done working on the side business, he going to the gym. Once he come home from the gym, he's eating rice and chicken, and then he's going to sleep. Then he's waking up early again the next day. That sort of disciplined lifestyle is what's going to get you ahead of everybody else 5 to 10 years from now. Not just ahead of everybody else, but towards the life that you want to be. Towards the life that you want to have, I should say. So just understand that on a day-to-day, you have to ask yourself, hey, is this habit that I'm doing right now, is this going to make me who I want to be at in 5 years? And who you want to be is really up to you. But for me personally, I want to run up a bag. I want to run up these millions of dollars. That's just me. That's just who I am. That's just how I feel about things, right? So for me, I have to ask myself, hey, is this habit that I'm doing today, is that going to make me a millionaire in 5 years? If I think not, then I'm not doing that habit. I'm not doing that habit, respectfully. The next topic, or the next brutal truth, I should say, is this is kind of ties into the point that I made at number 3, but it is better to be alone than be with bad company. It is better to be all alone. It is better to be alone with no friends around, nobody around you. It's better to be alone. I'd rather be alone. You should be happy being alone than being with friends that are low-key hating on you, that are low-key jealous of you, that low-key they have plans to slime you out, bro. And what do I mean by that? A lot of people don't understand that lingo. When I say that, they have plans to plot on you and take what you have. You see these stories all the time. Let's say, so my camera died. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, no, I was saying you see these stories all the time, or you hear these stories all the time. Like, let's say, I remember seeing on the news, or it was some news outlet, right? Floyd Mayweather, for example, you had like $1 million worth of jewelry. I don't want to say the wrong number, but he had a large amount of money worth in jewelry that was stolen from his apartment or his house, right? I don't know if it was his luxury apartment or his house, probably house, right? And I say all this to say, bro, right? The company that he had around him was the reason why that jewelry was stolen. right? If he had been alone, if he had not been around bad company, if he had been around, people that genuinely want to see him win, genuinely want to succeed, want to see him succeed, genuinely want to see him get to the next level, he wouldn't have had that company around him. So what I say this to say is that it's better to just be alone. It's better to just be by yourself than be around people that don't want to see you win. Be around people that genuinely want to see you fail. Genuinely want to take from you, genuinely want to steal from you. If he had been alone, he would not have, he would not have that jewelry stole from him. And obviously all money you can make back, everything's just monetary. You know what I'm saying? All the materialistic things, you can't take any of that with you to the grave. And I'm going to talk about that later, but it's just an example. It's an example how people will really try to sabotage you. Let me get to my next point, man. This is a big one. This is a big one. This is a really big one. And this is something that I learned too. Just in life and in school and all that. You have to put in more work than you think to get to where you want to be. A lot more work than you think, trust me. You have to put in a lot more work into the YouTube channel, a lot more work into the business, a lot more work into your career to get to where you want. The amount of work that you think that you have to put in to get to the level that you want to be at, just multiply that by 5. And I'm serious. The reason I say that is because even from my personal experience, right? Like when I was in college and when I was, studying with my major and things like that, bro, I had to put in more work than I thought I had to pass an exam or pass a test or a quiz or write this paper. It was more work than I thought I had to put in. Way more work, right? With the YouTube channel, for me personally, way more work than I thought it would take to get to 1,000 subs. Way more work than I thought it would take to get to 10,000, to get to 100,000. You need to put in more work, bro. More work. Whatever work that you think that you need to put in 5 times that amount of work. 5 times. But it's better that way because you'll appreciate it more. You'll appreciate the end result more. You'll know you. So it actually wasn't my camera dying. It was actually my camera overheating. So I'm in a spot where more shade is at. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. But to my point before, I was saying that you need to put in more work than you think to get to where you want to be. And that's, obviously something that I've learned in my life and something that, you should understand whenever you want to go for whatever goal that you want, whatever you want out of life. Let's say you're super ambitious, right? You want that Urus, you want that Lamborghini. You understand that you're going to have to put in early mornings and late nights for that. Understand that you're going to have to skip holidays for that. Understand that you're going to have to put some friends on hold for that. Understand that you're going to have to reconstruct your social circle for that. Because it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot out of you. Right? And that's one of the biggest brutal truths that I learned becoming 24 is that you have to just put in more work than you think. Facts. Right? So as I get into my next point, the things that you worry about, and this is going to be real quick, the things that you worry about happening usually never happen. See, there'll be a lot of times where I worry about certain things. I worry about, while I was putting in work, let's say in the gym, back when I was in college, putting in work in school, I used to have fears of failure, fears of losing, fears of some bug, but fears of just not making it to where I want it to be. But what you have to understand is the things that you worry about, the things that you think that, are going to happen, the things that you think where everything will go wrong, usually those things never happen as long as you do what you're supposed to do. As long as you do what's necessary, as long as you put in the work every single day, as long as you really sacrifice, as long as you really grind, as long as you really do what's necessary from you. you will get the things that you want out of life, and you will not fail. I know it sounds real corny, but you really will not fail. So you worrying about, oh, what if this doesn't work out? What if this does, et cetera, et cetera? Bro, it won't. It will work out. You got to stop worrying, bro. Because who's going to win? Who's going to win? Is one person right here that has so much self-belief in himself, and then there's another person right here that doubts himself constantly. Who do you think is going to win? The person number one, he's going to put in more work. He's going to put in 10 times more work than the person that already quit on himself or herself, right? So I'm going to talk about this more in my next point, bro. Self-belief is imperative. Imperative. Number 8, man. Losers sit there and overthink. The winners, the champions, the world champions, the WBC, WA, the champions, they take action. You scared, you at the career fair, right? You send an application at the career fair. You see the same recruiter for that company that you've been wanting to talk to and things like that. A loser, he goes and says to himself, and this is a true story, by the way. He goes and says to himself, oh, man, I already sent in that application. You know, I already did what I could do. I'm not going to approach him. I don't want to seem weird. I don't want to seem thirsty, right? So he doesn't approach that recruiter. Meanwhile, the winner, the one who takes action, the one who doesn't sit there and overthink, he just approaches that recruiter and is like, hey, man, I sent an application. I don't know if you guys got it, but I would love to work with you guys. I have XYZ skills. You could take my resume, and I think I'll provide a lot of value to this company. That's the winner, right? And I'm not trying to big myself up, right? But that's what I did. And guess what? That's what got me the interview. I didn't get the job, but that's what got me the interview, right? So I got a step further than the loser. Even for example, a lot of people, right? They're scared to approach, let's say, a girl that they really like. They're scared to approach. Meanwhile, the winner he's not in his head. He's not thinking about what might go wrong. He just approaches. And guess what? Things go well for him. And while you looking from the sideline at the winner, he's living the life that you should have lived. Next thing you know, 10 years down the line, they're married. That could have been you. That could have been you. That could have been your family that they have. I'm not saying be jealous or envious about anybody, but you get what I'm trying to say. You're picking up what I'm putting down. Losers sit there and overthink. Winners just take action. Winners don't think. They just do. Losers sit there and overthink if they're qualified or not for this. Winners just say, whether I'm qualified or not, I'm going to take action. I'll figure everything out as I go. I'll learn on the job. That's the difference between the two. That's the difference. What else I got to say, man? Oh, this is a big one. This is one thing I had to learn myself. The parties will always be there, bro. I know you're putting in late nights, early mornings, working on the business, in the gym, getting the physique right, getting your money right. You got to save money, so you can't really go out like that this month. You can't go out like that these next 3 months. You can't go out like this summer. You can't go out like that this whole year because you just got to lock in. You got to grind. You got to sacrifice. Let me tell you something, bro or sis. The parties will always be there. And they're not all that, too. They're not all that. I promise you, they are not all that. They're really not all that. So all this time that you spend worrying about, oh, this party, that party, these people get together, and, this person did this and this, and, this person's out in Miami, and this person's out in Ibiza, this person's out in Dubai, this person's out, at this club or that club. Bro, I promise you, you are not missing out on anything. You are not. You're just not. You're just not. You're just not. A lot of these people, let me give you the free game. A lot of these people at these parties, they're not even really enjoying life like they show themselves enjoying life on social media. A lot of them are very unhappy with life. That's why they got to be at that party. I'm not saying everybody, but that's why they're at that party to cope with whatever they have going on in their life. Facts. Let me get into my next point, man. If you, and this ties into my next point. If you spent less time on social media, you'd appreciate your life more. You'd appreciate the things out of life you have more. You'd appreciate your family more. You'd appreciate the amount of money you have more. You'd appreciate your car more. You'd appreciate just everything about your life more. But because you're comparing yourself to the top 0.001%, the top people that are making 100K a month, the people that, are top 1% in looks. I know a lot of people are into the black pill. It could be very damaging because you're comparing yourself to these people that had facial surgeries and things like that. Bro, that's gonna mess with your mental, bro. That's gonna your mental health is, honestly, I say arguably more important than your physical health. Seeing all these people that are better than you constantly, it could be a great motivator, but it could mess with your mental health, bro. It could mess with your mental. So, hey, bro, hey, man, spend less time off social media. Spend less time on social media. Take some time off social media. Go interact with people in the real world. Go take a walk. When's the last time you touched grass? When's the last time you touched grass? Always on social media all the time. It's not good for you, man. It's not good for you. This is kind of a, this is not gonna be a popular point, right? In self-improvement, right? But it has to be said, man. It has to be said. And there's so many bugs around me, it's crazy. But it's good to work hard. It's good to grind. It's good to, put in those early mornings. It's good to put in those late nights. It's good to do all of those things, right? But understand that you only get one family. You only get, a couple of close friends that you can really call your friends for the rest of your life. You only get a couple of those. You only get a couple of loved ones, whether that be family or friends or whatever. It's good to grind, but make sure you spend some time with them, bro. Make sure you spend some time with them. Because they're not going to be here forever. They're not going to be here forever. And all that money that you want out of life, all the cars, all the followers, all the views, you can't take any of it with you to the grave. At the end of the day, everybody's going to forget eventually about your social media that you have growing. Everybody's going to forget eventually. 100 years will go by, and the last person that ever knew you will be dead. And they'll forget about you. So it'll be as if you never existed. All the money that you make, you can't take any of it to the grave, bro. So make sure you spend some time with your loved ones. Real talk. You never know. You never know when you won't see them again. And that's facts. That's facts, bro. Let me get into my next point, man. Let me get into my next point. This is one that I feel, bro. But this is facts. This is facts. This is on my phone. I don't know if you can see it. They will switch up on you when you become successful. Let me repeat that. They will switch up on you when you become successful. I promise you, bro. Or sis, they will switch up on you when you become successful. Be prepared. The family members that you thought were good family members, they will act different when you become successful. You must be prepared and act accordingly. And these people were never for you to begin with. So I don't need people, in the comments wondering why, oh, I had this friend or family member that I was really close with, but now I don't really talk like that since we don't really talk that like that because, I started doing well in life and things like that. And he or she started becoming jealous and started hating on me, etc. It's a part of life, bro. Those people were never really for you to begin with. It's not you, it's them. It's not you, it's them. I don't really think anything really needs to be explained for this point. It's pretty self-explanatory. They will switch up on you when you become successful. And the way that you know you have a real friend, the way you know you have a real family member is by how they react to good news. Are they clapping? Are they happy for you? If they're not happy for the success, if they're not happy for the millions of dollars that you're going to make, if they're not happy for the growth, they were never your friends or family. They were never your friends to begin with. They were never true loved ones to begin with. But let me get into my next point, man. Man, we're already almost halfway done. It is better to have delusional self-belief than an ounce of self-doubt. It is better to have delusional self-belief. Literally delusional self-belief that you believe that you're truly the best at whatever that you want to pursue than self-doubt. Let me tell you why self-doubt is such a bad thing. When you doubt yourself, it's disrespectful to yourself. When you doubt yourself, when you doubt your worth, when you doubt what you're capable of, your actions align with that way of thinking. That's why the mental is so important. Your mindset is so important. I could work 14 hours a day. I could work 14 hours straight because I know the millions of dollars that I have in store for me. But imagine if I did not believe in myself. I'd do what, 8 hours, 6 hours, 4 hours? Why are you not working 14 hours a day? If you say you want those millions of dollars, this is only for the people that want those millions of dollars. Why are you not working on your craft 14 hours a day? Why are you not in the gym 6 days a week? That you say you want it like that. You say you want it bad, but your actions aren't aligning. Because deep down, you don't really believe in yourself. And that's the worst, bro. That's the worst kind of thing that could happen to you as a person, is not believing in yourself. Because when you don't believe in yourself, all your actions don't align. Some days you work 2 hours, some days you work 8, some days you work 3. Not consistent. Not really consistent. That's a problem, bro. That's a problem. But hey, let me get into my next point, man. We flying through these. Man. Oh, this is just what I was talking about, man. A lot of people say, oh, it's not that deep. You don't have to go to the gym 5 days a week. You don't have to, lift weights all the time. You don't have to be in, whatever martial arts gym if you want to go there. It's not that deep. You could skip the gym. You could chill. The gym is a waste of time. Some people even say that. The gym is a waste of time. So going to the gym, it really is that deep. It really is that deep. It's really that important. Because if you could commit to the gym 5 days a week, you could commit to anything. Because when you're in the gym constantly, you're putting in work, you're not seeing results, then boom, out of nowhere, you hit that PR. Boom, out of nowhere, you look in the mirror, you like what you see. Boom, out of nowhere, you hit that new PR, new squat PR. Boom, out of nowhere. You got your best time in a mile run. It is that deep. It is that deep. It absolutely is that deep because it teaches you lessons about life. The results come slowly. After you put in the work for an extended period of time, the results come slowly. Then out of nowhere, you get what you want. That's the lesson. Out of nowhere, you get what you want. And if you have this mentality to anything in life, bro, you will be successful. You will get what you want out of life. You will get what you want. But what's my next point, man? What's my next point? We on point 15 already. We on Brutal Truth 15 already. We getting close. See, the best man isn't the one that outworked everybody. The best man isn't the most skilled. The best man isn't the most gifted. The best man is not the most talented. The best man is just the one that didn't know when to quit. He didn't know when to walk away. He didn't know when to stop uploading YouTube videos on his channel. He just didn't know when to stop. It took him 2 years to hit 1,000 subscribers. That makes him want to quit. But then he's thinking in his head, oh, Mr. Beast hit 1,000 subscribers in 2 years too. He's thinking of all these. He didn't make the varsity team. And he's thinking, oh, Michael Jordan didn't make it either. I'm not going to quit. The best man is the one who just doesn't know when to quit. Doesn't know when to walk away. Doesn't know when to stop hitting the gym. Doesn't know when to stop striving for greatness. That's the best man. That's the best man. That's the one who wins in the end. Who just keeps on, just keeps hitting it. You know what? You got a bag, heavy bag in the boxing gym, just keeps on hitting the heavy bag. Just keeps on hitting it. Over and over and over. And then he knows one day you'll find that good punch. You'll find that lucky punch. You find that good punch, man. But yeah, man, the best man is just the one who doesn't quit. So don't quit. Don't quit. You gain nothing out of quitting. You sacrifice this much, you're going to quit now? It doesn't make any sense. Hey, number 16, bro. Number 16, bro, is that you got to be the proof. You got to be the proof. I know a lot of people have, friends or family members that don't want to go all in. They don't want to go all into the business. They don't want to go all in school. They don't want to go all in whatever money-making field that they want to get into. They don't want to go all in the gym. They don't want to go all in. They're half and half with it. But when they see you going all in and you getting results from that, you being the proof. Being the proof. Showing people that it's possible. Showing people that it's possible to grow a YouTube channel. Showing people that it's possible to stay in the gym consistently and get a good physique. Showing people that it's possible to make 100,000, 200,000, 3,000, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, $1 million a year. Showing people that it's possible if you put in the work, if you sacrifice. Showing people that it's possible. You need to be the proof. You need to show people that it's possible. Then more people around you, your loved ones, your family members, your friends, they're going to get on the same wavelength that you're on because you're showing them that it's possible. Be the inspiration, bro. Be the one to show them that, hey, it's possible. It's possible. But yeah, man. Next point. This is very important. This is something I had to do myself. You have to win the war in your head before you can conquer anything in life. You have to win the war within. You have to be able to basically be at peace with yourself. Be at peace with the past. Be at peace with your past mistakes. Be at peace with, the decisions that you might have made that you aren't too fond of looking back at it. You have to be at peace with the things that might have happened to you. Because if you're not at peace, if you're mentally all over the place, if you're not mentally locked in, how are you going to focus on the business? How are you going to focus on your work? How are you going to focus in the gym? How you going to lock in and make those millions of dollars? You steady thinking about the past. You got to win the war within. You got to win the war within. You have to. You have to. Well, let me get into my next point, man. Let me get into my next point. You see, you're always going to regret giving into your pleasures over long-term gratification. You're always going to regret eating that burger when you know you should eat that rice and chicken. You're always going to regret skipping the gym to lay in your bed. Nasty. You're always going to regret going to that party when you know you should have locked in. You know you should have locked in. You know you should have locked in that night. Dang, all these bugs, man. You know you're going to regret that. You're always going to regret that. So, what you have to I'm sorry, there's too many bugs, bro. You're always going to regret that. So, what you have to understand is think about the decision that you'll make and you'll be happy about 5 years from now. Am I going to be happy 5 years from now that I went to that party? I don't think so. Am I going to be happy 5 years from now that I sacrificed the whole summer to work on the business that's now giving me the life that I have 10 years from now? That gave me the Urus. That gave me the M5. Of course. You're always going to regret choosing that short-term gratification over long-term gratification. You're always going to regret staying up late at night watching TikTok reels. You're always going to regret that. So choose the decision. Choose the decision. Choose the route that you'll be happy with 5 years from now. Not what you'll be happy with right now. Not that was going to be comfortable for you right now. What's going to be happy, what's going to make you happy years from now. And we almost getting to the end of the video. I'm kind of happy because all these bugs around me, man. I got to go take a shower or something. See, this is a deep one. Never tell anyone how good you're living. Flexing on people really only... Let me redo that. Never tell anybody how good you're living. Flexing on people rarely goes well because the top 5% get inspired while the bottom 95% get jealous. And 10% of that 95% plot on how they can take what you have. Let that sink in. So only 5% of the people that you tell your accomplishments to, only 5% of the people that, you show them the lifestyle, you show them the reaps, the rewards, the benefits of your hard work. 5% of those people get inspired by it. 5% of those people are winners. 5% of those people are happy for you. 5% of those people put in more work because they're just that inspired. But 95% of those people, they don't get happy for you. They get jealous. They get envious. They feel some type of way. They feel gaslighted by your success. And 10% of that 95%, they're plotting on how they could take what you have. They're plotting on how they could set everything up so they could steal from you. 10% of that 95%, they're preying on your downfall. That's crazy. That's crazy. The camera died again, but on the bright side, we are in a better view. So we got 4 more points left. 5 more, I should say. Some people use tragic events in their life as an excuse as to why they can't grind, while other people just use it as an excuse to grind. You see these people, especially my age, right? Say their significant other broke up with them. They use an excuse to party 24/7. They use it as an excuse to do all these types of drugs, all these degenerate activities. But some people use it as an excuse to grind. Some people use it as an excuse to get in the gym. Some people use it as an excuse to get the things out of life that they know they deserve. See, that's the difference. That's the difference between, just like how I said before, the winners and the losers. That's the difference between the winner and the loser. The loser has a bad thing happen to him. The loser has a tragic event happen to him, and they use it as an excuse as to why they're a loser. And the winner has a tragic event happen to them, and they use it as a reason as to why they're a winner. Which one do you want to be? Which one do you want to be? Really ask yourself. You want to be the winner, bro. You do not want to be the person that's making all these excuses. Oh, I could have done this, but this and this happened to me. But nobody cares about excuses, bro. We care about results. We care about results, man. But Point 20, man. Point 21, I should say, actually. This is very important because I know a lot of people watch these self-improvement YouTube channels. They watch, these channels where they say, oh, you need to make this amount of money, you need to level up, etc. And, FitX Fearless, right? He's one of my favorite YouTubers, but I don't really agree with him on this point. It's like he's saying if you don't make this amount of money, you're not a man. Hey, bro, you can't take any of the money that you make with you to the grave. All the social media following that you've garnered, all the YouTube channel subscribers that you have, you can't take any of it with you to the grave. All the followers, all the people that know you, everybody's going to forget about you one day. You can't take it to the grave, bro. So you got to enjoy it, but you can't get lost in it. You're no better than anybody else. You're no better than, let's say you're making 100K. You know better than the person making 30K. You know better than them. Right? So you can't get lost in the sauce, bro. You can't get lost in the sauce. You got to understand that all this, the money, it's nice. It's nice. I'm not going to lie. It's nice. Having a bunch of people that follow you, support you, having a fan base, it's nice. But you can't get lost in the sauce and get big-headed. Because it could all be gone tomorrow. It could all be gone tomorrow. Next point, man. Next point. We only got 3 more left. I think I talked about this before. But being alone, having no friends, let's say maybe you even have friends, but you just want to be alone for a little bit. When you're all alone, when you're doing these things alone, when you're going to the gym alone, let's say you even go to the movies alone, let's say you go to restaurants alone, let's say you do all these things alone. You're all alone. Nobody with you. That's when you truly find out who you really are. You have these friends, they don't ever want to go to the gym. So you say, all right, man, I'm going to start going to the gym. You go alone without them. You want to go to this influencer gym. No friends want to go to that influencer gym. You go alone. Those are the moments in your life where you separate yourself from everybody else. Those are the moments in your life where you truly become who you're supposed to be when you're alone. Because that's when you find out all the positive things about yourself. Man, I know I could do this well. I know I could do this. I know I could do that. Only reason you know is because you're alone. So you have to embrace, being alone. You got to embrace struggle. You got to embrace, the bad things about your life. You got to embrace, waking up, no text to your phone. No text coming in. Because when no texts are coming in, bro, that's a blessing. That's a blessing because you get to find out who you really are. You get to find out you ain't got no friend calling you up and telling you about their situation and this BS that happened to them and that and this and this. You can just focus on you. That's a blessing, man. That's a blessing. Well, next point, man. Next point. This is something I saw from TikTok, actually, right? If the price of winning is too high, wait till you get the bill from regret. Wait till that bill come and you think of the life that you could have lived if you had locked in, if you had sacrificed, if you had put the parties to the side for a little bit, if you had worked a little bit harder, if you had not stayed in all the time, if you had sacrificed, if you had done what you were supposed to do instead of done what feels right, how much further would you have been? And you look at that bill, you look at that time I went out all summer, that's -500. That stopped me from getting the penthouse. That stopped me from getting that high-rise apartment in New York City. That time where I kept on using my phone. I couldn't stop using my phone at work. I couldn't stop doom scrolling. I couldn't stop the TikTok before bed. That cost me the Lamborghini Urus. Man, I didn't even. Man, the time I couldn't say no to a friend, that caused me to that caused me all that real estate. See, you have to sacrifice for the life that you really want. There's no other way. I wish I could tell you that you could have both. In a perfect world, we could have both. In a perfect world, we could have both. In a perfect world, we could have the money and all the other things. But we can't have both. We can't have the success and the pleasure. We can't have the sacrifice and the grind, and then also have the pleasure. We can't. We can't have both the success and the pleasure. We have to pick one. We have to pick one. And you got to pick the success every single time, bro. You got to pick the success and the prosperity. You got to pick that over the pleasure, bro. Every single time you got to pick the success. Last point, man. Last point. This is my favorite point. My favorite point, man. See, the struggle builds character, so don't you dare try and skip it. All the things that you're going through right now, all the things that, are happening to you, all the things that, you don't like out of life right now, all the things that, you look at yourself and you're like, man, I wish this didn't happen to me. I wish I didn't have to go through this. I wish I didn't have to go through that. All that builds character. All that builds character. All that makes you the person that you need to become to handle all the success. Handle all the success that's in store for you. Handle all of that. Handle all the success. And, when you're going through a phase of struggle, a phase where you can't really understand why, God is putting you through this, or understand why this is happening to you, you have to understand, bro, that this is all part of the plan. This is all part of the journey. Because let's say you get those millions of dollars. Let's say you get the millions of dollars without, a friend switching up on you. Let's say you get the millions of dollars without, a family member switching up on you. Let's say you get the millions of dollars without the struggle. You lose it all. You lose it all. You didn't struggle to get those millions of dollars, you're going to lose it all because you don't even understand the amount of work that it required to get to those millions of dollars. So you take it for granted. And when you take it for granted, a fool and his money will soon be departed. So, you're spending all this money at the club, spending all this money on this person, that person, this person, that person that doesn't care about you because you think it's all a game. And sooner than later, you lose all your money, man. So the struggle builds character, bro. Don't try to skip it. The struggle is going to make you the person that you need to be. The struggle makes you who you are today, man. But I'm super tired. I had re-recorded this before, but actually my mic wasn't on. So I'm exhausted. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys liked all the effort that I put into this. Follow me on Instagram, too. A lot of people don't follow me on Instagram that are subscribed to the YouTube. But, yeah, man. I hope you guys enjoyed, man. Make sure you guys take care. Take care of yourselves, man. And I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Peace.